welcome to the SVG-TV Evening News for Tuesday, September 3rd, 2019. I'm Khalil Kato with the details. Partnering with and empowering neighborhood watch groups to function effectively is the theme of a two-day crime prevention workshop which commenced here today. The RSVG Police Force is hosting the workshop in collaboration with the insurance brokers and guardsman SVG Limited for members of neighborhood watch groups in SVG. Speaking at the opening ceremony, Assistant Superintendent of Police Junior Simmons said the workshop is a testament of the RSVG Police Force's commitment to engaging members of the public in meaningful activities and partnerships to uphold law and order. He said that one way to ensure community safety is through neighborhood watch groups.
Over the next 2 days, the participants in this workshop will receive information and practical sessions on the following topics. Neighborhood watch, what you need to know. Insurance and you, risky business. Identification of illegal drugs. Understanding human trafficking. Crime prevention tips and strategies. Fire detection and prevention. Prevention is better than cure. Expanding our watch to virtual communities. Cyber monitoring. The role of the police in curbing domestic violence. Let's put a halt to all sexual assaults. Safety at sea, and road safety and traffic regulations. I want to encourage you, the participants, to not only be active participants in this workshop, but to use the information that you would have garnered to make a positive impact in your communities. Also, use this opportunity to network with all of the other members of the watch groups that are here today.
Representative of Guardsman SVG Limited, Tariq Roberts, said that everyone has a role to play in ensuring their safety, and not just the police or security firms.
We are also delighted that the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force has decided to engage our communities in such a way. You see, security is not only the responsibility of the police or private security firms like Guardsman, but communities must play an active role as well. When we leave these sessions, I hope that we are able to use the knowledge, the resources and tools that were made available to make our communities that much safer. That being said, I'd also like to remind you that security is more than just having a police or security presence. Nor is it only installing CCTV or alarm systems to protect yourselves against would-be criminals. We are well into the hurricane season, and we must do what we can to ensure the safety of our communities, not just against human elements, but from nature also. In Guardsman's presentation tomorrow, we'll go through our products and services in depth, from our popular burglar alarm systems and camera systems to our static guards and patrol units. It is our hope that there will be a product or service we offer that will help improve not only your individual security, but that of your communities as well.
Director of the insurance brokers, Paul Seal, said that being a part of a neighborhood watch group is a risk management initiative, which is one of the reasons why they are happy to collaborate with the RSVG Police Force in hosting the workshop.
Some members mistakenly believe that we sell insurance. In fact, we buy insurance in line with our clients' needs. People come to us with their problems, and if they still need assistance after our free risk management help, then we go to market trying to find what they need, and more importantly, within their budget. This workshop incidentally reminds us of the flooding on Christmas Eve 2013, when we helped so many persons who may not have been our clients as yet, who were given negative information about their coverage. We were happy to assist them, and we're happy to be here to help you now. So in conclusion, we are very happy to welcome you here today, all of you, together, and all of us will demonstrate the value of that timeless proverb. Prevention is better than cure.
Meanwhile, Assistant Commissioner of Police Richard Brown said that one of the documented policies that the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force uses to achieve its mission in preventing and detecting crime is to preserve its civic engagements with community groups.
That is why it was so easy for the police force to organize this two-day workshop for neighborhood watch groups. Because neighborhood watch groups are part of the police force trust in community policing strategy. It was the late Sir Robert Peel, the father of modern policing, who said, "The police are the public and the public are the police." This potent statement, though articulated a long time ago, is still very important today. The police alone cannot fight crime. We need to partner. So to do so, we have found such in our neighborhood watch groups. We need strong, well-organized and managed neighborhood watch groups in communities to help safeguard them in collaboration with the police.
In describing the roles of neighborhood watch groups, ACP Brown said it must be made clear that they are not vigilante groups where persons can take matters into their own hands.
In communities to help safeguard them in collaboration with the police. So what is a neighborhood watch group? Neighborhood watch groups focuses on being the eyes and ears of neighborhoods. They are created mainly around the concept of getting to know one's neighbor. It's one of the oldest and most effective crime prevention programs, bringing citizens together with law enforcement to deter crime and make communities safer. These groups who watch out for criminals and suspicious behavior and report to the police help prevent crime and promote cooperation among residents and the police. The aim of these groups is to help residents of their communities to protect themselves and their properties, to reduce the fear of crime and improve their local environment by improved home security, greater vigilance, fostering a community spirit, improving the environment in the community. It is important for communities across this country to keep an eye out for each other as they are essential components, in reducing crime.
ACP Brown said there are several benefits in being a part of a watch group and urged more communities in SVG to establish neighborhood watches.
It helps you care and have pride in your community, makes a community welcoming and inclusive, helps bring about community spirit and camaraderie or solidarity, prevents crime obviously, helps people share information among neighbors and with the police, helps people know how to keep themselves safe, helps to reassure people, and therefore reduces the fear of crime and isolation. Neighborhood watch groups, it helps you to deter criminal activities, bring light to other important issues, not only the crime situation, but little issues around the community. You can also bring light to those. Another benefit of a neighborhood watch program and a direct result of crime prevention is a more connected community. Let me at this time call on all communities across St. Vincent and the Grenadines to form watch groups.
A point system as well as a vibrant omnibus association are among some of the ideas put forward to improve the public transportation system in the country. This issue was discussed on SVG-TV's Viewpoints program on Sunday. Past president of the Omnibus Association, Len Grant, said a point system is a necessary tool to create the needed behavioral change among omnibus operators and to ensure safety on the nation's roads.
I'm welcoming that idea of the points because men need to realize that you are risking people's life, and if you are caught, is not just paying a ticket. Paying a ticket is a simple thing because most of these guys pay ticket from the owner's money. The owner's spouse, they don't pay from their personal monies. So they will go tomorrow and commit the same offense. So I am saying, if points are taken away from your license and you realize that after a period of time you can no longer operate an omnibus. I am saying an omnibus because you have a H license, you function in this capacity, you breaches the rule. Take away your H license. Take away your license and help you to realize that this is reality. You cannot be employed to drive a van. You're affecting the life, you're putting danger on two other road users. And we need to help these people to understand it because paying the ticket is not sufficient.
Vice President of the Omnibus Association, Angus Mackey, said the association is currently in discussions with the authorities dealing with a number of issues of concern, including the proposed point system.
Discussion phases. Some of the topics that we discussing are tints on vehicle, amplified music, lyrics and levels, insurance modification of vehicles, point system against drivers and headlights and vehicles. And with the point system, as you said, Junior, I'm really scared for the bus drivers because of probability, and as you said, because the thing is, a private driver would only be on the road for half an hour a day, but a bus driver would be on the road for 14 hours. And I could see with a point system, let's say like we take a model from overseas where every ticket is 3 points. 15 points, 6 months to a year suspension. We could see people get ready to take away in one day.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know how we going to go about this.
Okay.
Because as you say, if we take away all the omnibus drivers, let's say one day, I mean, the system might shut down, the country might shut down, you know.
Moderator Junior Backus said he is certain that insurance companies will welcome a point system, given the payout they have to make when there is an accident.
Somewhere after you pass Lee, going in that area, there were people who got damaged, nearly lost their lives. That bus was to the value of $200 and something thousand. So you have to replace that bus. The person who just insured maybe just less than a year. They paid one insurance. Let's say the insurance fee was, say, $13,000 for the year. They paid that one. But you have to replace a $200+ thousand bus. Then you hear claims, pain and suffering for damage to persons' lives. I mean, you're talking in the one accident you could spend $400,000 to settle a single claim for a $13,000 fee. So insurances are getting hit. And I am certain the insurance sector will welcome the point system because, as Len said, it is the drivers who are really causing the accident and not the owners of the buses. And it is the owners' money they use.
The Chief Executive Officer of the SVG Medicinal Cannabis Authority, Dr. Gerald Thompson, said a testing laboratory is needed in the country if the medical cannabis industry is to meet international standards. Dr. Thompson recently paid a visit to the United States and Canada to examine the operations of their medical marijuana industry. He said based on his observation, the use of drone technology for crop analysis and machinery which uses GMP standards will be important for SVG's medical cannabis industry.
A great deal. And we went through their soil lab. We went through their cannabis lab that they'd set up. They really are an old company, and I went online afterwards to check what they were saying. They were the #1 laboratory, or voted #1 laboratory in Canada. I'm not talking about Ontario, in the whole of Canada. And we are yet to get back in touch with them, but the discussions we had with them was, one, that whether some samples, if we need to, we can have our own lab, need to be sent to them to do any sort of testing. That two, they'll be able to help and assist our laboratory in terms of its establishment and so. And we've even talked that if need be, if persons could come there and be attached for a short while just to get a good feel of the volume of work that's being done.
Dr. Thompson further highlighted the advancements which could be achieved through the use of drone technology.
From that analysis, they could tell, persons could be trained to tell if there's any early signs of, too much water or not enough water or stress or anything of that nature. They said that the color of these plants and so forth changes slightly, not so detected to the human eye, but these particular cameras are able to pick it up. So we asked them, what is the cost of the drone? They said, well, it's just about $9,000. So I didn't discuss that with Sherilyn, but we certainly have to wait on that. We're going to use our existing drone to look at other things. And they said, we have a good drone, and we'll probably be one of the first entities in St. Vincent to use drone technology for that purpose.
The Cannabis Authority CEO said he also met with representatives of the company Syntec, which has been contracted to grow 100 hectares of cannabis in Cambodia. He said the company's operation is quite impressive, and SVG can adopt some of its best practices in the development of its own medical cannabis industry.
Now, they've been contracted to do what's called a bolt operation, build, operate, and so forth, you know what I mean? And we learned a lot about it, but one of the more important things we learned was the type of equipment that is used has to meet GMP standards. This offered that they could come down to St. Vincent and do audits on the various companies to make sure there weren't any gaps. We'll have to consider that, but we have to also build our capacity to be able to know what is necessary, the type of equipment, how stringent it is. They said in terms of the type of metals that are in these pieces of machinery, you can't have certain things inside the metal. Certain metals are prohibited. So you got to make sure they don't make the parts in a cheap way and put in a cheap metal that could shave off and get into your product.
The first batch of students at the newly opened Canaan Secondary School have been encouraged to use the opportunities which will be made available to them to excel. The encouragement came from Minister of Education Sinclair Jimmy Prince as he spoke at a special General Assembly held for the opening of the school on Monday, which also marked the start of the new school year. The Canaan Secondary School opened with 15 students, a number which is expected to increase to 19. The school's curriculum will feature all of the core subjects. It is headed by Terry Andre Bino, who will be supported by a qualified staff. Minister Prince said that the school forms part of the government's commitment to education and encouraged the students to do their best in and out of the classroom.
I've also been advised that the fittings for the labs and the other rooms would come by the middle of the month. But as we are now, we're fully equipped to begin work, to start work. The thing about education in St. Vincent in this particular period is that once you work hard, you're going to reach far. Once you work hard, you're going to reach far. Because we have what we call an education revolution. And the introduction of a secondary school in Canaan is part of that revolution. And the amount of money spent, the amount of money invested in bringing you secondary education here can't be too much. It is a beautiful fillip, beautiful pillar of this education revolution.
Minister Prince took the opportunity to thank the developers for their investment.
No thanks too great for Mr. Pastorius and developers for the job that they have done. As major stakeholders in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and particularly in Canaan, they have accepted their corporate responsibility by partnering with the government in ensuring that the youngsters in Canaan get a secondary education. There are many generations of Canaan people who wish that they had secondary education on the island when they were growing up. All of the inconveniences which they put up with, which you've heard about before, those would not have had any effect on them. But you, the new ones, you have all the privileges. Because education Although I talk about privileges, education is a right in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We are spending over $130 million this year on education alone. And more will be spent because we have about maybe nearly 50 scholarships to hand out to students. So this is a special period, and you are part of that special period. And you
MP for the Southern Grenadines, Terence Olivier, also encouraged the students to work hard and appealed to their parents and the entire Canouan community to do their utmost to support the students in their academic endeavors.
Home, you are now here. You are in their hands. Listen to your parents. Listen to your teachers. They are here to guide you. They are members of the community, and parents, I want to stress this. You know, sometimes the children go into school and you may see a child doing something and they report it to you. But you want to take a different line on a different side. Let's all cut that out, because they belong to all of us. Whether they turn out, if they turn out good, we praise. If they turn out bad, we also have to take the blame. So let's not talk about the bad. Let's give them the encouragement when they're out there, whether they belong to you or not. That is what a community does. It takes a community to raise a child, and this community, we're gonna do our best to make sure that at the end of the first 5 years that this school is counted among the top 5 secondary schools in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Backyard gardens are an excellent way to ensure food security and the consumption of healthier food. In this regard, the Richmond Vale Academy is providing members of the public with the necessary training to create their own backyard gardens. The Richmond Vale Academy has been a pioneer in areas such as organic gardening, permaculture, and sustainable practices which benefit the environment. Facilitator of the Richmond Vale Academy, Selwyn Patterson, said the Academy is currently running 2 programs, Fighting with the Poor and the Climate Compliance Conference, both designed to create an awareness of environmental issues and empower persons and communities to be more self-sufficient. Patterson said the Academy is also engaged in a backyard gardening program with the goal of creating over 5,000 backyard gardens across SVG. He said the program teaching module is both theoretical and practical and is open to the general public.
We are going to have a new team start in October, November, so you can call and register. You know, we are trying very hard now to go out to the social welfare, youth department and all that, so that we can see how we can build the sineage, where we can have them enroll persons into these programs, so that more young people on the YES program can come for attachment, or for the ladies who they have on their program can come to Richmond Vale and these attachment, so that they can learn. You get the knowledge of how to build a garden, or what plants to go with each other, the companion planting, all that. You know, so because we have doctors need food, lawyers need food. So we have to have agriculturalists. You mightn't go to a school that teaches, but we have this in Richmond Vale where you can grow your own food. So this is the push why we are here, and this is why we want to get out the voice so that other people can hear the knowledge.
Patterson said the program promotes healthier food and the preservation of the environment.
So then if we think about these things, because why do we farm? We farm to ship out. We monocrop to ship out. But we are not thinking about ourselves. So the backyard gardening concept, which is a good one, is thinking about our health, local. So you know that you're growing your own food with your composting, you're planting companion plant so that you could get rid of the pests. You know, you're planting your trees so that you can get the carbon, you know, and you're doing your gloricida so that you can mulch, or your vetiver grass so that you can keep the water and your swale and all that. So that you're thinking about taking care of the environment, which people were created for, to take care, and also your health, where you're eating healthy food, you know. And you know, someone said the other day to me that when they test the milk in mothers, how much chemical is in their breast milk, you know, because of the food that they eat. So we have to also think about not just eating food, but our nutrition, which is very important as well.
2 young persons participating in the Backyard Garden training program spoke on what they've learned thus far and the activities they have been engaged in.
We build gardens, so we planned what type of crops go with each other, and we mulch, and we make sure that we don't use no chemicals. So we use like organic matter to cover the beds, so it will keep wet, and not when the sun comes out they just dry it up and dry up the soil and dry up the plants as well. So we do all that.
We not only plant local trees, but there's different trees that are from different places around the world. And for example, the Lucina, it helps to store carbon from the atmosphere back into the soil. And we use these trees also to capture the water on the land. So on the land we put swales to catch the nutrients that are being washed from the top of the land, because St. Vincent is a steep place, and it's normally this is the rainy season, and all the rain washes the topsoil off, which is the nutritious part of the land. So by planting these trees, we help to hold the soil together, and these trees help to protect each other from pests and diseases.